Hey, it's Michelle O'Neill, and tonight I want to talk to you about thinking you're so overwhelmed and not having enough time, and maybe you need to lose some weight and you're like, I don't have enough time to exercise or eat healthy, or maybe you're like fed up with your job and you're really wanting to make a change and you're like, but I don't have enough time to learn a new skill to be able to change what I'm doing now. So this is my tip that I'm gonna give you. And you guys, I'm a mom of 6 kids, and I was divorced when my kids were little, so I raised 6 kids and was able to build a 6-figure income from home around those 6 kids. And this tip that I'm gonna share with you was a game changer in not being overwhelmed and actually getting more hours in my day than I thought was even possible. And I'll share something with you. This is one of my favorite quotes, but structure equals freedom. When you get structure in your life with yourself and your kids, you gain so much time with that. But to be able to get structure, you really need to know how you spend your day. So here's the tip I have, and I challenge each and every one of you to do this, because when you do it, you're going to be blown away. So what you do is you grab a little notebook, and I'm talking like one of those little ones that flip up and you can write on, one that will fit in your purse or one that's this big, something that you can fit in your purse. And what you do from the moment you hop out of bed, and it gets annoying by the way, but you have to do this. This is going to eliminate overwhelming. It's going to eliminate the mindset of I don't have time, and it's going to give you hours back in your day. And you're not gonna cut out sleep. You're actually going to gain these hours by doing this one method. And I recommend doing it, if you can, for a week. A week is a game changer, but if you can do it at least 3 days, because you're going to learn your patterns. So what you do is the moment you wake up, you grab your notebook and you write down the time. And every 15 minutes, you have to write down what you're doing. Every 15 minutes. Yes, it's annoying. And if you have a boss, you need to go to your boss, you need to be like, listen, I gotta carry this little notebook with me because I wanna be more productive for you. I wanna be more productive in my job. I wanna eliminate overwhelm. And the way I'm gonna eliminate is I'm going to see my patterns that I'm doing every day so I can delete stress, delete overwhelm, and delete thinking I don't have enough time. So just bear with me this week, because I'm going to keep a notebook with me. So if you're talking to me and you see that I'm writing stuff down, that's me helping you be with me being a better employee for you. So they will actually work with you. But you guys, I'm serious. You'll be blown away. Because this is what a lot of people found out. They would write down like 10:20 in the morning or 10:15 in the morning, and then they would look at the clock and it'd be like 10:40 and they would still be on social media. So they'd have to go back to 10:30 and write down like 10:15 on social media, 10:40 still on social media, or 10:52 texting, 10:20 or 11:20 on social media. And they were finding these chunks of time that it's not that they don't have a time, it's just what you choose to do with your time. I'm not saying eliminate the social playground of the world of social media. I'm not saying that. I'm saying we're gonna organize your schedule, because here's what happened next. So you're gonna write down every 15 minutes what you do. And I know it's a pain. I've had people say, I'm not doing 15 minutes, but I'll do 30. That's okay, but 15 really is a game changer. And it's hilarious because after a few days, your kids are actually going to help you. Like, hey mom, it's been 15 minutes. You need to write your time down, what you're doing. Anyway, what will happen is you're going to see the patterns that you have, and you're gonna be like, oh, gosh, I didn't realize I spent so much time on that, or oh, ouch. I had one lady do this. She found out she was spending 4 hours a day watching TV. A day. She was doing like an hour in the morning, like 3 hours every night. And she's like, oh my gosh, I'm literally have a part-time job watching TV. I have plenty of time to do what I want. So you'll start seeing the patterns that you'll have. So here's what you do next. You look at that schedule and you see what can you rearrange, because I think it's great to get on social media. It gives you the opportunity to decompress. So maybe you block out time in the morning for that, time in the afternoon, and time in the evening, so you still get that in. But what you do is after you're really working on this and jotting this down, look at the patterns that you've established over the 3 to 7 days that you actually do this. Then you work on what you need to cut out, but you're going to recognize a lot of gaps that you have. And one thing I share with people that is so important, write down on a piece of paper, everybody has the same amount of 24 hours in our day. It just depends what we do with those 24 hours that makes the difference. You know, you see companies that, or you see like business owners that have like 347 businesses, and you're like, how do they even function and do that? It's because they're so particular with their time and what they do that they have more time with their family because they're very, very selfish with their time. And what I mean by that is like they're not going to spend the wasted hours doing things. And what you'll realize is if you're jotting this down and you actually follow through with this, by the end of the week, you'll realize how many hours a day you can gain back and even go to bed earlier and still get more done and even have more fun time in your day, more fun time in your week, more time to do the things that you want to do. If that's exercise, if that's maybe create different recipes, if that's spend more time with your kids, if that's go for a walk, or if that's start creating your own business. I mean, whatever it is, you are going to realize just from documenting your time how much more time you have. And you'll realize like, wow, I didn't realize I spent that much time doing that, or gosh, I spent a lot of time doing this. And you will really start going with your schedule and be like, wow, I can save an hour here, I can save an hour there. So it's so important because what you'll realize is as a mom, we are pulled in 55 million directions. So once you start seeing the patterns that you have in your life, you can rearrange that, because what you do next is after you've created your documented what you do every day, then you work on, okay, what you can eliminate, what you need to do different. Then what you need to do is every night before you go to bed. And I love doing it at night, and here's why. Because you wake up with it fresh on your mind. So what you do is every night before you go to bed, you write down what needs to be done in your day, the next day. I mean, write everything down. If it's 5 things, if it's 10 things, if it's 20 things, write them down. Then ask yourself this question. What are the have-tos? Like what has to get done in my day? Like take my kids to school, right? Feed my kids dinner. What is the have-tos that have to be done? Then categorize that, like in importance, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you'll find out that you don't really have a lot that needs to be done in a day. I mean, even when I had all 6 of my kids home and they were all in sports, and we had so much going on, I could literally do my have-tos and it was like maybe 10 to 12 things. And I'm like, if I just spent an hour on each of them, which some of them didn't take an hour, that's only 12 hours. I still have another 12 hours in my day. So you learn to get hours back. So, and what happens is and we all can relate to this, right? We will not write down what we have to do in our day, and we're chaos. Like we are literally like, oh my God, I got so much to do. Life is crazy. It's overwhelming. And like you have a 45-minute conversation with your girlfriend or coworker, how overwhelming life is and you have so much to do. But you don't even really know how much you have to do because you're not even writing it down. So structure equals freedom, right? Remember I said that at the beginning. So what happens is you go to bed at night and you have your list of things to do. Sometimes, and at the beginning, it gets it's challenging because you'll have like a lot of things that you think you have to do, but just mark your top 10 because they can carry over to the next day. And then pretty soon you'll average, depends on how many kids you have, how many activities are in, and you know, your life schedule, you'll have on average 5 to 10 things a day. And it feels so good going to bed at night because you're like, yeah, I get this done and I can do whatever I want. And your mind starts shifting to this is what's important, this is what I have to get done. Then you can do whatever you want after this is done. You wake up in the morning and you grab your list of what you have to do and you feel refreshed. And then here it even gets better. Because guess what happens? You start marking things off. You start marking things off. You feel empowered There's no overwhelm because you have direction. It's all right there that you have to get done. Yeah, there'll be days where 4 or 5 things come up. Then grab your schedule and be like, okay, these 3 things that came up are really important that I have to do today. So what can I change on my list that I can carry over tomorrow so I'm not stressed, I'm not overwhelmed, or I don't have to stay up late getting everything done? Again, structure is freedom. A lot of you are like, I don't want to have to work that hard. No, it gives you time back. This is why people be like all the time to me, I don't get it. How do you have 6 kids and how are you able to still work out and go for a walk or go for a run or ride your bike, or how are you sitting in your backyard enjoying the outdoors? I mean, how do you do it all with kids? And I'm like, because structure is freedom. The moment you hone in on what is so important for your day and you have it wrote down and you have a clear picture of it, everything changes. And then here's what will happen. You'll start being better at managing your time, that you know, man, I get all this done and I can reward myself with playing a game with my kids or sitting on the back porch and having a glass of wine or watching a TV show or, working on my business. Whatever it is, you get to reward yourself with what you want. Other than that, you don't know what you're doing during the day, right? You have nothing wrote down and you're like completely chaos. And have you ever had those days when you're like pulling your hair out and you're like, oh my gosh, I got so much to do. Life is crazy. This is nuts. I didn't sign up for this. I'm overwhelmed. And then you get home and you're like, what did I even do today? Have you ever had those days and you're like, what a waste of a day? That was because you didn't have any agenda. You didn't have any direction. And so it's like a hamster on a wheel, right? They just go back and forth and they never make any progress, and they'll get on that wheel and they'll move so fast and they're exhausted and they didn't make any accomplishment of any miles. And that's what we do when we don't have structure, when we don't have a schedule. And I will tell you what, it becomes fun because you're like, yes, I'm getting this done. And it's hilarious because you will also learn to say no. How many times have you been like, yeah, I can do that. And you add things to your schedule, which you know you shouldn't, but you're just too nice. The moment you have a schedule and you start writing it down every day, what you have to do, it's easy to say no because you're like, I just can't. I have like 4 things still on my list to do and I plan on being on my back porch tonight having wine, so I just can't tonight. Sorry, maybe tomorrow I can help you. Or you know what? I would love to help you. My schedule's pretty booked today and tomorrow. Maybe I can add that for Sunday on my list. You'll be amazed what will happen. And again, you're gonna get this structure in your life and you're gonna see all these hours that you've gained back. Then what you do with those hours, you take those hours and you create the life you love. It's that simple. It is that simple. And maybe that life you love is just more time sitting on the floor playing with your kids. Maybe that life you love and want to create that you'd be absolutely obsessed with is losing 20 pounds and getting in shape. Maybe that life you absolutely love is having that extra time to do crafts at night. Whatever it is, when you figure out your schedule, you hone in on the little things that you do every day that are sucking your time, and you have it set down, you mark it off every day, you'll gain all this time back and you will have freedom in your time management. Then you see why people with a lot of kids have a lot of time. It's because we are very picky on what we need to do each and every day. So I hope this helped. I hope that you take me up on this challenge and you try it. I mean, keep track. Every 15 minutes, keep that little handy dandy notebook with you and write it down every 15 minutes what you're doing. See your pattern, see where, I didn't realize how much time I was spending doing that, or wow, what a waste of time. Once you get that done, then write down what you can change and then write down what is the most important thing that you have to get done today. Do that every night. You'll have goals, you'll have structure equals freedom, you'll have more hours in your day and you're gonna be like, I have so much time to do so much more. So again, if you're gonna do this, share it with me. Either comment below, I'm gonna try this. Send me a Facebook message letting me know you're doing this, letting me know the results, letting me know how many hours you can find in your day. And if you know anybody that is overwhelmed and doesn't think they have time, share this video with them, because maybe you guys can do it together with your schedule. So you guys have a great evening, and I will be back tomorrow with another mom tip to help you be the best mom you can be and love being a mom, and no mom guilt and no overwhelm, and just go create the life you love. So bye guys, talk to you later.